Welcome back to the channel, everyone, and today we are talking about coilovers, and more specifically a coilover for the Jeep. But what is a coilover? Simple answer, a shock with a coil over the top of it. But it is a much more complex answer than that, as there are lots of different styles for lots of different kinds of vehicles. Whether it is for my Jeep, which is what we are talking about, we're going to be installing a new coilover on the Jeep, or a coilover that might be on my wife's car, on your half-ton truck, on something like a 4Runner, is much different. I'll try to put a little graphic of what those type of coilovers are. But for today, we're going to talk about an off-road style, custom style coilover. So let's get into that. So I recently sent one of my Bilstein coilovers in for repair, and unfortunately with a snafu in shipping, I had to order a new one. So with the help of Truck Stuff, thank you Truck Stuff, out of Wichita, Kansas, I ordered a new one and it came quickly. This is a Bilstein 14-inch stroke. This is the part number. It is what's considered a short body 14-inch stroke 60mm coilover. So I've been running these for a couple years now, and I've really enjoyed them. I've been very impressed with them, but there's something little that I did that I sent in to get repaired. And we don't need to go into what happened, but stuff happens. So we're gonna go over kind of what comes with it. Obviously, comes with a coil over. You got your little spacers for the top. And let me put this down. What else comes with it is your coil separator. This will be for the two separate coils, as this is what's called a dual rate coilover. And your bottom, you know, I need to kind of know what actually this is called, but it's basically a bottom hat for the coilover. The bottom coil kind of rests on this, kind of keeping everything in pieces. These are the two coil springs I have for it. I believe it's 175 over 225 is kind of what I have for poundage, but we can double check that here in a minute. So there is my setup for the coilover. We're going to put that together, kind of show you what it looks like assembled and why I love the Bilsteins. So one thing I want to talk about is the coilover slider. So this is the piece that comes with the Bilstein, just kind of your stock piece, very similar to what Fox, King, anyone, just a hard plastic style piece. It's used to do the two sides of the coils and used to help regulate as the shock goes up and down. What I have replaced it with, so we're not going to use that, is this AGM product. So the AGM slider is actually a multi-piece slider. So when the coil and shock gets extended throughout its movement, this can actually twist and move along with the coils. So it creates it actually creates a quieter movement with your coilover and just a better feel with your coilover, the AGM product. And if you ever get coilovers with dual rate coils like this, and I looked, it's 175 over 250 is what I'm running on the front. I highly recommend a slider like that from AGM. So look them up. I'll put a link to them in the description. I'll put a link to them Sorry about that. I'll put a link to Bilstein description, and I'll put a link to truck stuff in the description also. So highly recommend that. And anytime you use coil springs like Ibach, a lot of times the rate will be like right here. So 3-inch, 250. This one's been kind of rubbed off, but 3-inch by 175. So that's kind of how you can tell what your coil rate is. So a couple things I like about the Bilsteins that some of the other manufacturers do not offer. One is this built-in bump stop. I actually like this. It's nice that they have this protective for the shaft. So yes, I have bump stops. Yes, it is nice to have both protective things so you're not bottoming out the shock and potentially damaging the shock. For the slider, it is nice having a full range of adjustability. This is super nice. It's also super easy to adjust with any type of tool, whether it's a flathead screwdriver or anything. And then the top one just goes right up against it and then locks it into place. Super handy, super easy to use. The top hat is also super easy to use. Nice holes. You can just stick any type of flat end or Phillips screwdriver is what I end up kind of using, and moving it to adjust it down when it's on the vehicle to adjust your preload, and then just a simple Allen screw to set it to make it tight. Every manufacturer is slightly different on how they do this. I find the Bilstein is a very simple and easy to use design. And one of the other things as I grab it, so the bottom piece that holds the coil, so some are not super easy to actually install. Some you have to actually back out with an Allen screw or remove with other type of screws. The Bilstein one, you just kind of push this up out of the way, you put the coils on, you slip this on, put the coils down, use that top piece to tighten the coils down, put your preload on, and then there you are. Nothing's moving, nothing's going anywhere. It is super handy, and if you need to adjust anything, move coils, it's much easier, I feel like, to be able to get the coils on or off if you're trying to mess with spring rates and stuff like that than some of the other manufacturers where you have to get out tools to actually remove that bottom piece. So another thing I like about Bilstein. All right, I got everything assembled. As you can tell, I got it down just a little bit. I need to measure what the other side is so I can get the preload down where I have the other at. I got the top coil, I got the AGM slider, bottom coil, bottom piece all set where it needs to go. Time to get it installed in that hole right there on the LJ so I can get ready for the 2025 LJ Adventure, which is just a couple weeks away. So headed to South Dakota for that. So thank you for tuning in. Hopefully you guys enjoy that. Just a very simple overview today of this Bilstein coilover. Definitely can maybe one day go into a deeper dive when I have a couple coilovers and a couple different styles on hand. But if you like that, let me know. Maybe we can get a couple together. That way we can show some comparisons. Thank you guys. Don't forget to tune in, subscribe, and share. Thank you.